Hello everyone, this is So Young. Today I'm gonna talk about how to create a chatbot using Python. You wanna create your own chatbot for your own website, but you don't know how to create a chatbot. And you heard about a bit of Python. You code a bit, but you are really not fluent in it. You don't want to use Visual Studio Code. What is that? You don't want to know all this Docker virtual environment. It's headache. I want to run away to learn all this technical detail. This is the right place. I create a tutorial for people who are more beginner. I'm also learning myself technical advancement stuff. So stay tuned. So we have a website like this. This is my own website using Wix. And it's a website that I created a couple of years ago. I had some idea of what I wanted to do. And here is basically more about my resume. And I want to create a chatbot here asking some question, and it will answer based on this website. So that's what we want to do. And to create this interface, that's another level. What I just want to do today is focus on the content. So how, when we ask something, it will answer based on this website, only the content part using Jupyter Notebook. Okay, that's what we are going to do. So let's go to the Jupyter Notebook. And here, this is a Jupyter Notebook. And this is from Google Colab, which you don't need to install much because it's already pre-installed. You don't need to learn virtual environment, Docker, let's run away. This is a perfect environment for a beginner because I did it using virtual environment and Docker. I managed to do it, but I'm very confident the beginners would run away. So we will do it using beginner-friendly tutorial to get it done. So what it's gonna do is as I said, when you ask question, I will show you the result first. When you ask question, which country did the person live? Tell me country name only. So if you ask a question, it will answer based on this website. Instead of asking ChatGPT a question, you will answer here a question and it will answer. And as you can see, it's answered the question correctly, Korea, German, US. Because in this website, there is an information about Germany, I grew up in Korea, and US. I moved to States. So this information is there. So it is doing a pretty good job. And how did we make this happen? Let's go through step by step what I've used to get it done. There are a few things that you need to get this done. There is one important Python package, which is OpenAI. OpenAI, ChatGPT based. This is a large language model that most people use. And this OpenAI model, you need to actually access also API keys. What is API keys? I know it's a headache, but if you want to interact with their website interface, you need to show who you are. API key is someone like, instead of saying I'm So Young, I'm blah blah blah, because they don't want to know all the name. They are making a string to identify if there is some fraud or anything. They know this person they have to block. It is API keys and you have to ask them. You just need to fill in some form, and it is almost free, but not 100% free. I paid like 5 to 10 cents last month, but it's super cheap. This is what you need to only pay for. And another package that I will use is a quadrant. This is another Python package. It's a vector space. And what it does, if you don't want to know, it's fine. But it's changing words to numbers to interact with OpenAI much more faster and efficiently. You don't need to know the detail, but you also need to create an account and also request API keys, and it's all free to use it. This is all I will share. And then what you have to do, you have to load the Python libraries. Like this is to scrape the website, beautiful soup, and so on, and also vector space. I told you the quadrant client and sentence transformer, and you have to also import OpenAI Python packages. And then these are the information about API keys. This is how you need to use it, OpenAI. And this, what I didn't tell you, is that we are going to scrape the website of Wix. So you also need to request API token from Wix website. The reason why I'm doing it is my website, so I can just request for free. This didn't cost money. So you can ask API token and you have your own URL address. So this is the website we will make a chatbot for. So this is important. You will do it for your own website. So that's how we're going to do. And then quadrant. This, if you request a website, if you get an account, you can get this form in their website, how to do it in the format. I can quickly also show you. Here, when you log in, so in Quadrant web page, if you go to the clusters and you go here, use the APIs, then you can go to this examples, how you can get an API, and you go to Python because we are going to use a Python way. So that's all you need to do for Quadrant client. And yes. And then we have now the API keys. Now we will do web scraping. So we will scrape the web using beautiful soup. And as you can see, once we scrape the web, you see the result. Home, team, about, resume, projects. Here, I'm a cognitive neuroscientist. Where is this coming from? It sounds like it's coming from here. Home, team, about, resume, more. I'm a cognitive neuroscientist. So it is doing a good job here. It's doing a good job, but this technique is super old. This, you were able to do it long ago. Anyway, now we will do is changing the word sentence into different format using this quadrant thingy. So we are going to change something to, these are all the things related to quadrant. We are using client. You don't need to understand everything. You just need to follow the steps. I also follow their tutorial. So this is all you get. So you will get a result now. Instead of getting words, this will be numeric values. And then what you are going to do, you will apply the large language model. When we fit into OpenAI, this is the main function we make. This ask question about your payload. If you ask this, you will get an answer. Here, you want to ask question to this Python definition. Which country did the person live in? Korea, Germany, US. So that's how it works. So instead of using any fancy like Docker or Visual Studio Code, you can do a step-by-step approach. Just you can use Google Colab to create your own chatbot. I know if you wanted to use a more like integrate, you want to create a chatbot on the website itself. That's another thing we have to learn. But for this tutorial, since I just escaped from North Korea, I just want to show you one of the basic fundamental how to create your own chatbot using easy Google Colab. I hope this was a useful video. Hope to see you in a next video again. Bye bye.